Hello, so this is my model converter and model viewer for the game 575 Game Engine Programming 2. So for my model converter, I've used the file system. So we used this file system during our Game Engines 1. So basically what I'm doing is um, getting all my words and tries printed, and then they are being printed, and then they will be transferred into a text file, and later on that the data in the text file will be read and then converted into whatever file extension we want to. So here basically all my words are being taken in and then stored in the model data number of words, and then I again do the same thing for my tries, and then take in and print them and then store them into the try number of triangles, and then I write them all into a file, which basically is going to be helpful in which will be read in my engine, read by my engine, and then um, in that manner or in that way it would um, display the objects. So the first thing is that well, to convert my the FBX files into text files, I have made a batch file here, which will give me the five models text files. Once that is done, then we can use that information to convert the files into the other extension files. So I tried, so my Visual Studio just updated, and then my Vodka and Liu just crashed, and I had to stick to this old way. So the old way is to just simply click and drag and drop the FBX file onto the exe, and then it would give you an output file. So this is going to be that output file, and so every time you drag and drop this FBX file onto the exe, this model name.azul will be created. So you can just rename this file into anything like the model's name, like space frigate, and then use that into the engine. So I have already created the files for the alien, Astro Boy, Buggy, then the Space Brigade, and the Warbear. So let's just use that file. Let's say control copy, and then let me paste that in here so that you can see that these files actually are working. So into the game engine, let's see, just showing you that I'm literally using the file that we just imported, not hard coding the words and the tries on here and then forming making the object from that, but actually using the file. So the general setup is just normal, the camera setup, the models. So these are the Azul files that we just copied into the engine. Then these are the textures that we'd be using. We have the default hot pink also set up onto the objects, and I am using the regular TGA files in order to load my texture from. So, and then I just set up all my objects with the bounding sphere. So each object has a bounding sphere attached to it. So that should be it, and let's just look at the demo here. So as you can see, we have all of our objects loading with the bounding sphere, plus we have the default hot pink texture setup. Also, I have different cameras set up with each object. So it's moved on to the regular space frigate, then it moves on to the hot pink, which I can change it to a different texture also. Then the 3 is for the Astro Boy. Then 4 is for my buggy. So if I just zoom in, I have used different textures for this as well. So if I go Y and U to change textures for the buggy as well. Then we move on to 5. That is my bear. Yeah, right there. Yeah, that bear. So it's not doing anything, it's just there. But the next one, the hot pink one, is going to change textures. So that would be R and T for the war bear and the polar bear textures. And the last one is my alien that I used, and we press E to toggle into its texture. So, and also I have made have each object rotating, each camera rotating on the axis of the orbits of the objects. And I think that should be it for this model viewer. Thank you.